Hey guys, this is KSP with Tape, and today you join me for episode 2 of KSP's Space Race. And today we're taking on a mission to fly by the moon. Yes, we must fly past the moon today, not because it is easy, but because it's really easy, and because Penguin did it in his last turn, and we cannot be beaten to the moon by him. So, we need a little more science, because we are using TAC Life Support, and I need solar panels so my Kerbal doesn't die. So I'm going to do my plane missions first, and right here I'm just grabbing a few reports with my new plane. This is my upgraded rocket plane, we'll see in a little bit in action, but I'm just grabbing the reports from the runway, so obviously it doesn't count as a launch. But yes, I actually did get science alert because, well, I didn't know exactly how useful it would be, but after this turn, I can see that it is very useful, especially for more complex biomes when you don't exactly know where you are and you're not really paying attention. You can grab a hell of a lot more science. So yes, I have upgraded my science systems. I don't know, anyway. So, cutting ahead to the real launch after we recovered that, got a little bit of science from the runway. We are gonna go, and we're gonna fly high with our rocket plane. Last time we fell just short of our altitude for taking that mission, and it was painful, and it was a useless mission, but we've upgraded our rocket plane today. Just to clear it up, this is not an attempt at an SSDO. I'm not foolish. Well, I am foolish, but I'm not that foolish. This is simply just for high altitude plane stuff. So yeah, let's barrel down the runway, get up as much speed as possible, so that when we fall off the end of the runway, because I doubt this can take... Oh no, it does, because this is the plane with the slight flap at the back, which helps me lift off very gently, and then here we are in the air, flying forward towards a mountain we hopefully won't hit, and then turning towards another mountain we also hopefully won't hit. But, I mean, it's kind of high, and this plane kind of flies like a dog, because it's really heavy. And dogs fly poorly, you know. Wow, a lot of water glitching there. Anyway, it flies pretty terribly because it's really heavy and he's using two very small jet engines. But we don't need speed out of the jet engines, we just need them to take us to our target. And this rocket plane has switched out the extra liquid fuel tank for a liquid fuel oxidizer tank, so I can fly for longer on the jet engine and fly all the way to the altitudes we need to take on our mission. But it is a bit of a long flight to get to the point, so here we are just firing up our rocket engine. In the right time, we're going to cruise up, and just that rocket engine will continue to gain thrust as the Juno basic jet engines start to lose thrust, and we'll speed it up because it is a bit of a long flight to altitude, because I did it pretty gently because, well, I wanted to fly up there properly, and I didn't want to lose all my speed and stall and die, because we probably don't have 1G of thrust with this, because it's a rocket plane. We utilize the air, and wings. Small wings, albeit, because I want to reduce drag a little bit, but it doesn't matter too much, because, you know, it's not going super fast. But anyway, here we are, getting up to altitude. We need to be at 17.1 kilometers, and there we are, just past the boundary. Now we're into normal time speed, and we take our crew report, and we get our mission done. And we're going to observe the materials bay. I also like that you can just press the button in the available experiments window. That really does save a bit of time. So yeah, getting all the science we need. And we got our 13,000, and since this is a plane, we'll get it back, and it'll be pretty much raw profit, except for the price of the fuel, which is pretty low. Fuel's pretty cheap relative to vehicles. That's why reusing rockets is so goddamn important. Although maybe not in this scenario, because it's quite an easy to get money in normal, as I've said a couple times. But anyway, cutting ahead a little bit in a maybe overly long fade just to where I'm going to land. We've done everything we need to do, and again, long flight back. A lot of stuff in this episode, so let's just land this plane at Kerman Lake. And just flying along, trying to bleed off velocity before we touch down, and then apply the brakes. I think I have turned the brake torque all the way up. And if not, we do have the emergency parachute on the front for a bit of slowing down, because, well, I usually include an emergency parachute just in case I flip my plane out or something and I need to not kill my pilot. As happened in the last episode. Not that it was a flip, it was just kind of, I didn't have my engines on and didn't know. But we didn't have to pull our parachute today, and we can just recover our vessel. Oh, but first we need to get Jeb out to get EVA reports or something. Yeah, there we go. Oh no, from the runway, I guess. Now, does this count as the runway, or is this grasslands? What am I doing? Oh no, I want to get it while flying, which means I have to jump off the plane. Actually, it doesn't. I can just be on top of the plane, but I didn't know that at this point. Or maybe I did. I can't exactly remember the exact bits of what I did. Anyway, after trying to get on this plane from all different directions, I decided to go to the back, where it's probably quite easy to get on the plane. So, let's just jump up there and grab the wing. Grab the goddamn wing, Jeb. And, yeah, I'll take a EVA report and while flying, and apparently I already have that. So all of this was pointless. I don't know why I showed it to you, but I'm not very good at it, as is clear. Anyway, let's get back in the plane, get all of our science, and then move on to our next mission. Our next mission being... Cut quicker so that my sentences make sense. Our next mission being flying to the KSP. Yes, we're going to go see Penguin and steal his science. No, of course not. We've just got some missions to take some kind of EVA reports, and of course, because this is early game, it's going to do them at the KSP too, but at the KSP. Because I don't have the KSP, I'm going to have to fly down there. So I'm at Kerman Lake, just in my upgraded normal plane. These planes are called Buzzard, by the way. This is Buzzard 2. The one you saw last episode was Buzzard 1. I couldn't remember the name of the plane. But yeah, this is upgraded. It's to be more like the Phoenix, which is a far superior plane. That's my rocket plane. So yes, the Buzzard looks a lot like the Phoenix now, just without that rocket engine and with a couple more parachutes. And yeah, so let's haul this into the air, although I get the feeling that we might be taking off via the get to the end of the runway method, which often happens. And yeah, we're going to pull around, fly down to the KSP. It's, as you can see in the little window in the top left, it's 164 kilometers away. Not the longest flight in the world, but this isn't the fastest plane in the world, so it's a bit, you know, a bit of a flight. So yeah, getting some temperature scans, because obviously the, oh, apparently I'm not getting temperature scans. What are you doing? Those experiments are reusable, which I think I realized there, and I'm like, yeah, temperature scan, 5 more science to get our solar panels, which we so desperately need, because, well, because solar panels. Anyway, I'm about to hit a mountain, but I do just manage to pull over it in the beautiful Buzzard 2, our newest and probably not best plane, because it doesn't have a rocket on it. And yeah, but anyway, again, really long flight, 160 kilometers at about 100 meters a second. I think this can do about 180 meters a second, but it takes a while to get there, so yeah, let's cut ahead to where I first spy the KSP. Oh my god, those fades are terrible. I hope that's just post-production and not when I render it out. But anyway, I'm looking through the window because I know that I can see the KSP. Now this will look slightly different from Penguin's KSP, because obviously we are in different saves. So the KSP is actually my KSP that I upgrade a lot. But anyway, here we are above the shores, and it's time to land. So let's pull hard and do something dangerous and foolish, like all great men. Yes, dangerous fools are who you want to associate with. So yeah, let's just pull around and just glide a bunch and. Yeah, I need to land this way because that's where the EVA reports are. I actually have 2 sets of EVA reports to do here, so it will be highly profitable and highly scientific and very good. They're right next to each other, so it's pretty much just one mission, and I'm not going to fly here twice to do basically the same thing. So, touching down, we get a bunch of experiments which instantly disappear, because I think that was... this is grasslands, and back there was the KSP or something, but, well, whatever. So yeah, let's slow down. We're now in the correct place to do our first EVA report. So yeah, let's just slow down, plane. Turn up the brake torque. And actually, I've entered the next site, and I haven't left the other one, so I think I'm in both sites at once. So when I get out to do my EVA report, I'll get 2 missions. I'll get 2 of the bits of the mission at once, which is nice. And then I've got to go a little further to complete this mission, and then I've got to go to the other side of the KSP to do the rest of the missions. So yeah, you can see I've actually got 2 bits of contract complete there. That's because I'm in 2 sectors apparently. Apparently they don't do that particularly well. And yeah, a little bit of science, a little bit of Monet. Yeah, so let's just get back in and head over to Dinkleston's Vision Site Beta or whatever. So yeah. I decide I'm going to run over there, and then a little way into running, I kind of feel like it's going to take ages. So I run back to the plane, and then I get in the plane, and then I just kind of drive down there. This is all in time compression because it's just driving over some grass. Yeah. Anyway, let's mount this hill, hopefully not too hard, and hopefully... Giggity? I feel like there's a giggity in there somewhere. Anyway, so yeah, here we are in the final site, and let's complete this mission, get paid like crazy, and spend it on rockets and rocket parties and parties for scientists. I don't know. Anyway, there's all the money, all the science. So let's head to the other side of the KSP now to get our freaking next mission. On the way there, however, I stop off outside the spaceplane hangar to grab a bunch of reports I took on the way here, which I didn't put in, and grab a few reports from, I think that was from the spaceplane hangar, because you can get science from all of the bits of the KSC, which is kind of cool. So I am going to take that because Penguin has that, so I'm going to come here and take the science. But anyway, let's very, very dangerously and fastly head over to our next site. And it's an EVA report, and if you click that, it's like, are you sure? And you can be like, no, I think that'll be a PR nightmare. Anyway, a bit of a jump, kind of foolish, but it's a plane, it can fly, whatever. I can't really see these contours very well because they all blend. And what I don't see is this contour up ahead on the launch pad. And then I see it, I'm like, holy crap! And then I smash the plane. And, yeah. I actually lost that report from the spaceplane hangar, but it was only about 2 science, and the rest of the reports are in the capsule. So yeah, looks like I'm running to the next place because I don't have much of a plane anymore, which also means I don't have to fly all the way back. So, get out of your goddamn plane and run the hell over there. I'll obviously cut through this running because it took a really long time, which kind of sucked. So yeah, here we are. Just take a long run and cutting ahead, getting down to the first of the sites for the second mission. This is commitment. I mean, running as a Kerbal is pretty frustrating. I mean, you just gotta sit there and be like, oh my god, get there faster. But anyway, you don't have to watch all of that. Since I am now entering the second to last site, I'm completing the second part of the mission, which is all good. And then I've just got to go to the final one and get the rest of the science and the rest of the mission, and we'll be all good. And then we can finally go home. I guess we'll send some sort of helicopter out here to pick them up. Not literally, I'm just assuming that's how the recovering system works. And then we'll just recover our Kerbal. However, we have not quite got enough science yet to get our solar panels. So, we are at the KSC2, yes, back in our homeland. Always nice to be here with the Buzzard 2. And Jeb is doing another excursion to get science from the highlands and the mountains. Yes, I'm going to land on a mountain because apparently I'm insane. And yeah, I've just sped most of this up because it's just a bit of flying and some dangerous landing and some almost crashing a few times. Pretty risky, but I put parachutes on here. I'm relatively confident in my flying skills. I mean, that might be misplaced, but whatever. So I'm finding a nice flat place to land on the highlands. And atop this hill looks nice enough because I hit it by accident, but luckily I don't explode. And just turned up the brake torque and slowed down, and I didn't have to pull the parachutes, which is good because we're landing on a mountain next. So yeah, let's take all of the science. What are you doing, Jeb? Oh yes, you're grabbing the temperature scans. I put one next to my capsule for a reason, but apparently they didn't. Apparently it took the temperature scan on the top one, so it was pointless having the one on the side. Anyway, after grabbing all the science from there, it's time to leave to go to the mountain just behind the KSC. That's the nice thing about the KSC2 is it's very close to a bunch of biomes. I was going to fly to the desert, but I thought tricky landings would be more fun than long flights. So yeah, let's fly over these mountains and find a nice place to land. I'm hoping some of these slightly lower lands count as mountains, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm just looking through all of these reports I got from the highlands. Yeah, pretty much everything. I didn't take like materials bay or anything because I've already actually done that on some different islands which are pretty close to here. I'm just flying over these lands seeing if I can get a new crew report, because that would mean I would be over mountains, but apparently not. So let's fly a little higher and find out where the mountains really start. And let's fly this way because that looks pretty freaking mountainous, you know? And then yeah, there we go, temperature scan. We're above the mountains, which is nice because this looks relatively flat for a mountain. So I guess it's time to find somewhere to land. Just circle a bit, try not to lose all of my altitude because I do have pretty small wings on this. Yeah, that's a pretty serious fight with this plane, not losing all of your altitude. And then I just clip a ridge, losing the back plate, and I emergency land because I, for some reason, thought that was an engine. And just take all of the reports and get all of the freaking science. Yeah, that's a hell of a lot of science. It even took a while at 4 times time accelerate. But yes, we have more than 90 science now, finally, and we can unlock solar panels. So we can head to the moon, because we need to go to the moon like pretty soon. And I'm gonna upgrade the astronaut complex so I can do EVAs, and then I'm gonna upgrade the launch pad so that I can launch heavier vehicles. And then I'm gonna hand you over to Past Me for my first attempt to go to the moon. It'll be glorious. Okay, so we're on the launch pad of the KSP-2 with our moon rocket, and it's time to go. Yes, Jeb is at the helm, of course, as our only pilot currently, and we blast off away from the tower. Throttle down a little bit, because we're using KW Rocketry, so we get these insanely powerful dual-belled Maverick engines, which is good, because, yeah, KW Rocketry engines are very nice. They give you some in-between engines like this Vestra, which is super efficient, which is why my moon rocket is, well, smaller than Penguin's, because, well, he used a 2.5 meter part. I'm not sure if that was to, well, 2.5 meter parts, I'm not sure if that was to test that engine, although I'm pretty sure it wasn't, because he didn't, so, you know, I mean, that was, I don't think he's played, this in a while, still, though, pretty seriously sized moon rocket for a flyby. This, however, is not tipping over because it hates me, and it's really tall because it's very thin. That's the other good thing, I guess, about using 2.5 meter parts. It can be slightly shorter. This is shaking like a psychopath in a mental asylum. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so we can't let ourselves fall behind. We are already a little behind on money and science, hence me not having quite as many things, because last turn I probably focused too much on not the basics and not enough on the basics, which is always foolish. So yeah, we've got to get to the moon because, well, I mean, Penguin's already been to the moon, but obviously I have a turn in hand, so I can't let them beat me to the moon, I guess. Yes, a little bit more post-commentary because it was a pretty uneventful launch, and this episode is running really long, but don't worry, I will hand you over to, you know, in the game me a little bit, because I know a lot of people like to see live commentary, and you know, sometimes it's interesting, and but a lot of the time it's me just kind of being, you know, boring. But anyway, I've actually named this rocket Capolo 1. Yeah, Penguin, I got Capolo. I named it first. I'm uninventive, but I got Capolo. Ergo, I am America. Ergo, I will land on the moon first. Although, chronologically, you'll probably land on the moon first, because you're a turn ahead of me. But in terms of in terms of game time, I'm gonna totally do it. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna make him Kerbal America great again. I'm gonna build a wall to keep the penguins out. Why do most of my commentaries end in just talking about Donald Trump? Anyway, let's just quickly upgrade the tracking station because I need patched conics, and let's hear why from past me. Fuck yeah! So I want to be going about, oh good, the worst place possible. Way to screw it up. You couldn't have just waited until it was... You couldn't have even slightly tried. I don't even... Okay, that's actually not that bad, but I could have waited until it was in a better place, which would have been well within my turn. I could have bought a new launch pad pretty cheaply. I could have built a bigger rocket, but no. Fucking hell, how much Delta V is that? That's way too much, fuck you. Yes, I probably could have waited a little longer, but it's a little bit more of time compression because this is a relatively boring bit, and I'm, you know, just planning mostly, and you know, doing a little fine tuning, and then eventually doing the burn, which you know takes quite a while. And otherwise, this video will be like an hour long. And do you really want to see an hour of it? Maybe you do. I mean, then watch live streams. Not that I really do them that much anymore. And for anyone else, I don't know when I'm doing my next live stream because I'm incredibly busy all of the time. So, yeah. Anyway, so I'm grabbing a bunch of EVA reports right now because Science Report is telling me, Science Alert is telling me. But yeah, anyway, let's start performing our burn and start heading to the moon. It looks like I might end up being a little low on fuel, but this is a very efficient engine, and I'm just doing a flyby, not an orbit. But anyway, let's here's some live commentary of me worrying about fuel. Yeah, we're gonna have tons of fuel. I don't know what I was worrying about. You're always in the VAB like, I'm gonna build this so well. Everyone's gonna think I'm so good at this game. They're gonna think, wow, this guy's just the best Kerbal best at speaking as well. It's like, oh, best Kerbal Space Program player I've ever seen. And then you're in it, you're like, shit, I should have added more fuel. Alright, what do we got? Yeah, we broke our speed record. 32 kilometers, that's not bad. We'll just do that when we get up here. That went pretty well. I do have enough Delta V. See, this actually is pretty efficient, right? It's more efficient than Penguins, which is the most important thing, because anytime there's slight competition, I pretty much just like hire an assassin because I'm crazy. Oh, ooh, cool! I can do lots of cool shit. Done lots of cool stuff. Went out to Jewel, but Did not get caught in its influence sphere. You remember that Hot Gaming song? I actually really like that. I know it was payphone, and I've literally never listened to that song not as a parody. But yeah, I like that. It was good. And then, yeah. It's funny, I love when you like hear a song like at a party or something, you're like, where have I heard that? And you're like, oh yeah, I've heard that on YouTube maybe? Wait, that's not the words. And then you're like, oh yeah, that was a Kerbal Space Program parody. And then sometimes you think kind of loud and people are looking at you and you're like, yeah, I'm really cool. Yeah, I often hear songs and I'm like, wait a minute, have I heard that as a parody before? Or often just like covers. I'm like, I hear a song, I'm like, wait, I've heard that before. And it's like, nope, I've just heard the cover of that song. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about this. Probably because I started saying something about went out to Jewel, but did lots of cool stuff. And I also unlocked EVAs, because, oh shit, what am I doing? I know how to space. God damn it, how do I, there we go. Oh, this is going so well. Oh, Penguin is gonna have so little trouble. You know how, like, at the start of the space race, Russia was winning, and then at the end America won? It's not gonna be quite like that in this space race. Although I am way more efficient with my rockets. I mean, my rocket was way smaller than Penguin's moon rocket. I also reused a rocket on my first turn. I mean, beat that, Penguin. Beat that, secretly a cheater, Penguin. I'm sure Jeffrey the Sheep will make some kind of weird fan art about him being a cheater now. Which, you know, you should go see all the fan stuff. With the fan stuff, I hate, that's a terrible word. But he does lots of cool stuff, like with collaborative warfare. Like, I'm often depicted as a certain fascist leader. Don't know why, you know. But anyway, yeah, let's get some science. And if you are here for the first time and don't understand why I would be depicted as a fascist leader, it's because of the series called Collaborative Warfare, where apparently I'm a Nazi. Seriously. Just never say lightning war in a UN meeting. They're all like, what? I'm all like, what? Anyway, yeah, we got Fly by the Moon. Any closer and there'd be paperwork. Probably. Got a bit of moon shit. Got a bunch of more things for moon stuff. I actually didn't escape the gravitational influence of Kerbin. It's still pulling on me. Well, not technically, because, you know, Kerbal Space Program. Let's take a temperature scan. Ballin', mystery go observation. Ballin'. I think you get more... what? Did you take both of them? Oh, good, no. I think you get more for the material study down low around the moon. Because Penguin said? Yeah, I should really be grabbing these reports. Oh, I should also take an EVA report. I do just like having the button there, actually. Yeah, science report thing is good. I was initially like, do I need it? And then I was like, yeah, I probably need it. So I got it. And that is the whole story. Maddeningly interesting, right? Yeah. Okay, we're doing well for science. Penguin and his giant rockets. Trying to be like, oh, I'm going to go to the moon efficiently. I'm going to win on efficiency. I think we can all agree. And if you don't agree, then you hate America. Oh wait, shit, I need to plan how to get back. I mean, my hubris is my main problem, really. Yeah, that'll do. Just go really fast into the atmosphere. We'll break a speed record, it'll be great. My hubris. What did I say, my hubris? Oh yeah, I was saying that I'm gonna win on efficiency and then lose on hubris. Yeah, that probably is the most likely outcome. But anyway, it's time to finish off the episode in post-commentary because, well, partly because I didn't record a lot of commentary for the next bit because, well, I was tired and things. And just because the rest of this commentary is not very interesting and maybe vaguely racist to Wales because... No, I was just, I don't know, I was saying something about Scotland and then I said their slogan. Oh no, I was thinking of this thing I saw on a train station where Cardiff was like, there was like an ad for Cardiff as like the closest capital city in the world to London. I was like, surely that's the worst, because then just go to London. I mean, yeah, just be more inventive, Wales. But no, Wales is fine. But the Cardiff people really need better advertising. Anyway, let's get back to Kerbin. Apparently I cut through some footage there. I think there was probably a game crash. But yeah, let's just deal through the atmosphere and drop that stage off and watch it explode in glorious fashion, because, well, that is the best thing to do. Yeah, so just pretty standard re-entry. I mean, nothing goes wrong. If you just have the pod, you don't even need SAS. It's just, you shouldn't put on SAS if it's just a pod. It's just naturally stable like this. But yeah, saying I could get an EVA report, but I think that would be a bad idea, because then, you know, I might die. And I kind of want to keep Jeb around. So yeah, let's just grab a little bit of science. Board, and yes, we went to the moon and we got like 300 science and did a bunch of missions, and let's unlock some structural things, some bigger fairings, new science stuff, bigger rockets, apparently, yeah, bigger freaking rockets, other stuff. I don't think I unlock anything now because I need to think about things more, but what I do is upgrade the KSC, the VAB, because I want to build a slightly bigger rocket for this moon mission, and the rocket is here. Yes, I actually used 2.5 meter parts this time, as I need to go to orbit the moon to do some missions. And I'm just getting a little bit of science on the launch pad, because I want all of the science. So, I need to do some observational surveys of the moon. I need to do some crew reports while flying low, basically. So that's what we'll be doing. We're going to head up there on our new rocket, Apollo 2, and it's actually going to test reusability of that first stage. I doubt it'll work, because I haven't put a probe on there, but we'll see. And because obviously reusability is still tantamount to my space program, I think Penguin joked that I should call my space program TAPEX, because I'm so in love with SpaceX and Elon Musk. How could you not be in love with Elon Musk? I mean, in a world where it looks like everything's going wrong, I mean, he's saving us. I mean, there's not much hope for humanity without Elon Musk. But anyway, let's just put this into orbit and then try to land that stage. So yes, there we are, orbit, beautiful. And then, yeah, let's switch to Apollo 2 debris and watch it fall back. It doesn't have a probe, but I've set up the parachutes to open pretty late, but it's coming in pretty steep. So I imagine they'll open too early. And obviously this is post-commentary, so that I know they open too early, break, and this slams into the ground. But still, actually not bad. I mean, the parachutes did slightly pull, and it did go back to Kerbin. But anyway, yeah, let's go all the way onto the moon. Yes, I used a slightly bigger rocket because I want more Delta V, because I had quite a lot of fuel last time, but I felt like it would just be nicer to have a bit more fuel so that we can, you know, just have a better margin, so we don't, you know, die. So yeah, I've also launched in a better position this time, after complaining to myself that I was like, why didn't you wait until the moon was lined up? And I waited a little bit, and I won't have to do an inclination change this time. Well, I mean, I can, but I don't think I'll need to. So yeah, I'm going to fly around the equator. I was trying to decide what was best, because we've got these reports to take, and I think just fly around the equator and then change my inclination later so it's more accurate. So yeah, let's do the burn with this second stage of our... I haven't really named this rocket yet. I'll have to come up with some names. But yeah, this is a pretty nice rocket. Still probably smaller than Penguin's moon rocket, which is important. Everything is a competition. Or it may only be vaguely smaller. But anyway, it doesn't really matter, because we just need to go to the moon with our second launch. And this will be the final launch, because both of these rockets have been level 2 vehicles, which means we can only launch 2 of them, which is a bit of a shame. But anyway, I just need to push my periaps up so I don't hit the moon, because we're not going for a landing today, even though I could have. And probably should have. I mean, totally beat Penguin to the moon. But if he lands on the moon in his second launch next time, and I do it in my first, then I guess I beat him to the moon. But if he does it in his first and I do it in my first, then lame. But anyway, I need to figure out how I'm going to get over those kind of sectors I need to be over. And this looks like a pretty good way of doing it, but it's not particularly efficient. So I actually decided to get into orbit first, because then I'm going to be going slower when I do my inclination change, which will make it more efficient. I'm just grabbing some material studies in high above the moon, and then, you know, some mystery goo and crew reports and such. Anyway, yeah, so I think I'm just toying around with this right now, trying to figure out what's best, but I do eventually, I think, decide to just get into orbit first, because that makes sense, because I'll be going slower, ergo the inclination change will be more efficient. So yeah, just put myself in a reasonable orbit. You will notice that I only have a day's worth of life support remaining, which is a problem, because I've already used 2 days. Now, luckily, happily, you have about 2 hours after your life support runs out until you die of oxygen, of CO2 poisoning, because apparently Kerbals really don't need to breathe that much. So we should be good if I can get back pretty fast, which I can, because I have, like, infinite fuel, basically, on this. I don't have infinite fuel enabled, but I have basically all of the fuel in the world on this spacecraft. I have, like, 120 units left in this little tiny pool engine, so it shouldn't be an issue. You'll notice that I didn't actually put Mystery Goo units on this, because I've taken all the Mystery Goo reports from the moon, so I don't need to keep bringing them. But anyway, yeah, let's just fly down and do a little more of an inclination change, and get our first report. Now, problem being is I'm probably going to lose this Kerbal if I stay in orbit of the moon for much longer, so I'm not going to be able to complete this mission today. I know. What the hell, Peter? You promised us the moon, and you only got us to the moon. You promised us more moon, and you only got us a bit of moon. What are you doing, man? Well, I don't want my Kerbal to die, so we'll complete this next time. We've already, with all the firsts and things, paid for this mission 3 times over, and we've got a bunch of science, so, you know, whatever. Anyway, here I'm going kind of crazy trying to figure out where I actually exit the moon, see how long it'll take me. A day and 2 hours. That's too long. So, I'm just going to leave this in really speedy of me trying to figure out how quickest to get back to Kerbin. Now, it's pretty easy to get back to Kerbin quicker than usual. So yeah, I'm just gonna basically do a bunch of prograde and retrograde maneuvers, and then do a radial maneuver, which will mean I'll be going much faster towards Kerbin, so I will get back much quicker. I've got enough fuel to do this sort of thing. Probably a pretty good idea to bring that bigger rocket then, huh? It's good. If I'd used the other rocket, I may have died here, which would have been a shame. Anyway, I'm just going to grab the rest of this data and then start heading back, because I've got it all planned out. Yes, I only have 5 hours and 20 minutes of life support and can't really get back that fast, but I can get back just in time if Jeb's willing to hold his breath and not have any water or food, and be poisoned a little bit with carbon dioxide, which is fine. So what I really need to do in future is put a little more life support on this spacecraft. I'm not sure if I've unlocked that kind of more life support stuff yet, but I don't know, we'll see. I will see next time, I guess. But I get a ton of science from this mission, so I should be able to do that. Anyway, so let's head back, and now I need to do a pretty hefty radial and prograde burn to speed myself the hell up, so that I get back to Kerbin a little faster. As long as I get back within kind of 5 hours, I won't die. And you can see I'm getting back in like 4 hours, so I'm fine. Yeah, this was a perfect mission, pretty much. Except for the whole I almost died again. Not that I almost died before. Did I almost die before? I imagine at some point I've almost died this episode. I mean, I tried to land on a freaking mountain. I crashed 2 planes. Yeah, shit, I crashed 2 planes. I had this rocket almost run out of life support, the other one was pretty wobbly, and I'm pretty sure I did a bunch of stupid stuff. But anyway, yeah, so I'm the good space program. I'm the one that's gonna get us to the moon fast, because I don't bring stupid heavy life support. Anyway, let's just land and pretend that we didn't almost kill our Kerbal, because, you know, it's better to pretend that way. Jeb, don't move around too much. You don't want to use too much of that oxygen, man. I mean, yeah, we're in the atmosphere, but for yeah, we're good. We're good. We got oxygen again. We'll just crack the door open. It'll be fine. The plasma will get in a bit, but who cares? It's just plasma. I mean, what's it gonna do? Kill you? Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you have the choice to maybe ride on my rocket or penguins, I'd pick penguins. But anyway, after a bit of a game crash, I need to recover this vessel from the tracking station. And that's exactly what I'll do. Here we go, and we got almost 300 science. Not bad for a day's work. And we'll go and fetch some things. What shall we unlock? I think stuff, I don't really remember. I think just everything, because I need to upgrade this science center to be able to unlock everything, so yeah, so I'll research this. Looks pretty good. Wings, reaction wheels. Landing legs could be good, maybe. Better plane stuff will be definitely good for next episode if I start with planes. Smaller engines could be useful. I think I'll grab that. I do like the smaller engines. Proper fairings, bigger decouplers, stuff. I don't know, maybe. Better plane parts. I'm thinking better plane parts would be really useful for next episode, but maybe I'll just unlock this next episode when the missions arise. Oh, and RCS and slightly newer pods and things will be useful. But anyway, that's the end of this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed the craziness of almost killing Kerbals a few times. And yeah, this has been KSP with Tape. I will see you next time.